So let's get to it and tell you about the parts I decided on. Let's talk about the case first. Really like this case. The Fractal design Meshify C. Saw great reviews for this case on YouTube from some PC builders and online. I know that it was very popular when it first came out, which may have been about a year and a half ago or so. But I know that it's still pretty highly regarded, and I love the look of it. It's got some tempered glass. I think mine has a light tint, and it just looks really good. The front is completely mesh with a fractal design. You'll see that later. I'll talk to you about that. The fan comes, the case comes stock with two fans, 120 millimeter fans. One is an exhaust, one is an intake. We're going to take the intake fan and that's in the front and apply it to the top of the case so that we have two exhaust fans, which will help release heat from the system. I think that'll be great. The case, I found this case on newegg.com. Great site for about $89. I think that this case has probably stayed around that price for its lifetime so far. Yeah, I should also tell you about where I found all these parts and how it was possible for me to even do this. The main site that I want to talk about is pcpartpicker.com. This site allows you to select each piece, each part of your system, and as you pick it, it will keep a running list of those parts, and also at the same time let you know of any kind of compatibility issues. So that was pretty dope, being able to pick out different motherboards and different speed CPUs and things like that, and still be able to see that everything was green, everything was still compatible, and I wouldn't have to get to this point right now and send stuff back through Amazon or whatever. So yeah, in addition to that, pcpartpicker.com, I found newegg.com where I got the case, and it gave me a lot of different options for the cheapest price of these parts, but also used ebay.com and amazon.com to do some auctions and just make sure I was getting the best deal for what I was buying. So after a lot of research doing that, I definitely got the best deals on a lot of these parts, and kept my build for right under $1,000 for everything. So as you see in front of the Meshify C case, I have the Fractal Design Silent Series RGB enabled computer fans. They are 140 millimeters each. I bought two of them. I'm going to use these fans as the intake system, so I'm going to install them in the very front of the mesh case there, while having two exhaust fans as well. And I'm hoping that will, with the Fractal design already being known for good airflow, I'm hoping that will give me a really nice, cool system that will be able to maximize the performance of my PC. So, moving on. Let's talk about the bad mama jamma that gets to power all of this, all these parts. I went with the MSI B-450 Tomahawk Max. Great reviews on YouTube and online about this motherboard as well. I chose this motherboard because of the parts I'm choosing. They're compatible, first of all, but the Max is going to allow me to upgrade my system, whether it be the graphics card or a better, faster CPU. Definitely going to let me upgrade the RAM, but it's going to be good for the next couple years. And then, say I can see the first part I'd upgrade would be the graphics card, but it's definitely going to be able to handle that and the extra power I'm inputting through the system. So we'll go and tell you about the processor as well. That's probably the most important part. I'm using the AMD Ryzen 7 2700 processing unit, and great reviews about this one. A great deal on Amazon for this one for $150. I think this one came out about a year and a half ago, so it's still new as far as technology goes, and its speeds tested well on all the videos I've watched. I think it's just a steal for 150 bucks. Will be good for years to come. And let's see, let's go next to the graphics card. Graphics cards were tricky. It's probably the trickiest part of picking out all of these parts. and I just wanted to make sure that I could keep that $1,000 budget. Graphics cards can take up to like 50% of your PC budget sometimes, and I just wanted something that could handle all of those things I was telling you about earlier and not break the bank. So I went with the FXX version of the Radeon RX 580 8GB graphics card, and great reviews on this. I think this one came out about 1.5 years, maybe even 2 years ago, but it's still, you know, still capable. It's going to get the job done, especially with all these other parts that I have. It's going to get the job done for what I need, and honestly I can upgrade that graphics card in about 1 year or 2 years and I'll be fine. So that's what I went with. We have, as far as memory, the RAM goes, we went with the G-Skill Ripjaws 5, 16 gigabytes, DDR4, or 3200 DDR4. 3200 is a pretty quick memory stick speed. There definitely are faster these days, but I think that is a pretty quick speed that will, and the quick speeds also work well with the AMD Ryzen processors, so hopefully that will work out well and give me a snappy system. Power supply, I went with the Corsair RM650, 80 plus gold rated power supply. Probably a bit overkill for the system. PC part picker probably estimated the total voltage usage of around, or wattage usage of around like 460 or 360 actually. I'm sorry, 360. So a little overkill here, but it's going to allow me to upgrade that graphics card or upgrade the whole motherboard and handle the extra wattage it's putting out. So, you know, I'm leaving myself some room there and being safe at the same time. I don't think I told you about the monitor yet. We have a Scepter 25-inch FreeSync compatible. I think that's 165 Hertz, 1080p. Yeah, I'm going to be using 1080p. Not ready for the 4K stuff yet. No need for that at the moment. And this monitor, I got a great deal. I think, you know, nice size monitor for 150 bucks on Amazon as well. And let's see, what else do we have? Wow, yeah, we have the storage. Very important. Going with just an SSD drive, 500 gigabytes right now. Western Digital seems to be a great brand from all the YouTubers and from online. Seems to be a reliable brand, so went with that. I can definitely buy more of these or go to the NVMe, which may be a little faster as far as processing. And I will be able to get more of these drives, or even get an external hard drive and, you know, upgrade the storage that I have. But I think 500 gigs will be plenty to get me started. Let's see here. Oh, and lastly, we have the thermal paste. Probably the scariest part of this build. Really hoping I don't just like burn the whole thing down doing this, but with the thermal paste, we'll be applying that to the processor, the Ryzen processor. We'll be applying that to the processor and attaching the fan that comes along with the processor. Fan keeps that processor cool, and too much, and I could probably have it seeping into the sockets of the motherboard and fry the whole thing, or too little and the CPU chip could actually get too hot and the fan could burn the processor. So kind of tricky. I'm hoping it goes well, but this will be well documented, so you'll see if I screw that up or not. But yeah, I've told you about the sites that help me pick all these parts. I've told you about all the parts, the budget that I spent buying these parts. I think it's going to be a pretty powerful little unit and look pretty cool. So let's build this bitch. Yeah, we're gonna get started here in just a second, but yeah, let's get some stuff out of the box and get going. Stay tuned. Alright people, the time has come. Let's see what we can fuck up today. Alright, starting with the motherboard. Get it out here. Figure out how to open this bitch. Now, if you're starting out and you're having a tough time just getting the box open, I suggest getting someone else to do this for you. Just to remind everyone, this is a first time build, so we are going to learn a lot today. Definitely going to try to be careful with this guy. Alright, so we have here in the motherboard box. You know, guys, this is just getting nice and comfortable. As you can see, I just got my sweatpants on, chilling. So I'm going to get that back mount. We got some SATA cables for our hard drive. Just in case we want to get fancy, I guess. Drivers. And an installation guide. Okay, and a manual. Great. I'm sure we're going to need all of that. So, what I saw was popular to do is to close this bad boy back up. And to actually start with the installation on top of the board. Okay. Let's see about our processor. And that Amazon toolkit I was telling you about earlier. Definitely came in handy. Pretty. Oh, there she goes. We're going to leave that inside the packaging for as long as we possibly can to avoid any dirt or dust getting on that. And like I said, this processor comes with a cooler already for the processing chip. And it is going to be the Wraith Spire AMD RGB fan, so we have some cool lights on it already. There we go. See, there's already some pre-applied thermal paste there. I think that we will be taking that pre-applied thermal paste off ourselves with a little rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip, something like that, and applying our own. Just here, that's good. Alright, and we're going to get started here. All we've done, we've taken our motherboard out of the box and all its components. We've got our SATA cables and everything to the side. We've got our thermal paste and our processor. Got the cooler here in the box, so let's open this motherboard and see what we've got. Okay, so right now basically I am looking for the label input for the CPU fan. CPU power. And if you can't find something clearly, then just refer back to the manual. It will be labeled. That's where our chip is going, and I believe the fan will go right over here somewhere. I believe it's this one here, so let's check that out. Haha, I have found it. CPU fan 1. Perfect. So that's where we're going to place our cable. figure out how it's going to go. It's going to go something like this. And we're going to plug the fan in here. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is actually remove this stock thermal paste and replace it with our own. We can do that with a little rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip, something like that. We're going to take care of that now. Alright, that seemed fairly simple. It wasn't too bad. The rubbing alcohol got that off pretty well. So let's go ahead and put that away. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and I believe put this chip onto the motherboard here. Now we're going to look out for the little etched triangle in this space here that tells us where to put the chip, and I believe I found it. I'm going to be extra careful because, like I said earlier, I'm a little OCD, and thankfully I have lots of friends in the medical field that can supply us with things like surgical gloves. So I'm going to test these bad boys out. We're going to make sure we don't get our CPU dirty. middle is gold, just like those gold pins. Alright. Next you're going to ask the motherboard to cough. Oh, I'm just kidding. Great. But let's get the other glove on as well. Alright, now I'm going to get these mounts off of this motherboard here. Probably should have done this first, but I did not. So we're going to do this first quickly. Alright, you can take these two mounts and put them inside of your motherboard or your C4 box. And we are going to get our fan ready. I think we have enough thermal paste there. Okay. Just kind of want to line this up as best as I can. All right. So let's take our smaller screwdriver here. And we're just going to get the threads going. Gonna go in opposite direction each time. Make sure I don't see any thermal paste dripping off the sides or anything. Okay. Sure. That is going in. don't know. So that one's going in. Let's make sure this one is. Alright, so as you can see, we did get the fan onto the CPU. I had to, while I was doing this, I saw that a little thermal paste was leaking off the sides of the chip there, and just, to be a little extra cautious, I went ahead and kind of unscrewed the screws here, twisted the fan back off, and went around with a Q-tip and alcohol and just kind of cleaned up the edges just to make sure we don't get anything leaking into the underneath of the chip to damage it. So I did that, and then I screwed it back on here, and as you can see, it's pretty sturdy, very sturdy. You can pick it up by everything. And we are now going to plug in the cable. So let's turn this way. Very nice. And I believe we have another cable here that will be for the RGB lights. Fan on the motherboard. Now we're going to prepare the case to start putting all these parts into it. So we're going to start by using our Phillips head to take off the sidewalls, which should be pretty easy to install. You want to keep up with all your screws. Careful not to bend these screws. So this glass kind of is screwed in here, 4 screws, and then it's sitting on some plastic rubber guards, which is nice. Break, scratch, and I'm gonna break it anyway. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take this 120 millimeter fan, that's an intake, and we're going to put it up top and make it a exhaust. So might want to get our smaller screwdriver here. This is going to be interesting. So for dust filter. Alright, now these cables are going to be connected here. So I think I'm going to take them off if I can. You know what? I'm not going to mess with that. Let's see if we can get these two comfortably rest somewhere for a second. Or do that. Let's not lose that guy. Alright, let's see if we can get to these screws here. Yeah, there we go. Gotta love that magnetic screwdriver. Ooh. Until you do something like that. Okay, so that's just tied into the back. It's all, the wires all gathered. Little zip tie. Let's take that off. I'm going to reroute this. Keeping up with all my little twisties so I can keep all the wires clean later. There we go. Alright. Dust filter. Oh, that's nice, magnetic. Great. Alright, and our fan, our exhaust fan is installed on the top. So we got one back here as well. It's nice and tight. Let's see if we can get our intake RGB fans installed. Just gonna take that wire in and put it somewhere nice and convenient. Let's see. sure we're all lined up with our standoffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, stud 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, install our SSD card. Quite a day of learning, a long day of learning, but we have our graphics card installed. We've got most of our cables for the power, the 24 pin for power, the CPU is connected, all of our cables are connected down low. We've got both our fans up top, the back, and in the front. I'll show you guys in the back here. So you can see it's pretty easy to take off. But I love this case because such neat and easy cable management back here. Looks like I did a professional job. We will see once we turn this on. Very clean on the inside, so let's give it a whirl, see if it cuts on. Alright, well, this is our moment of truth. We're going to see if this guy will power on for the first time. And let's just hope I didn't blow anything. Alright, let's give it a go. 3, 2, 1. Ah, power switch. Classic mistake. Rookie mistake. Alright, well, here we go. Let's do the countdown again. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look what I just did, guys. We have power. Fans are running. Got some type of RGB going on back there. Front fans seem to be working. Graphic card is on. I think we're good to go. I'm not sure about the RGB light around the CPU fan there, but we'll figure that out. It is lit up there, so we'll see what's up with that. But there you go, guys. Took me a while. I would say in all, it took me about 4 hours. And I'm not sure I got all that on camera, but about 4 hours. It was a really easy build. This case made it. Okay, now from what I've seen on YouTube and all the builders online, a big moment seems to be the final sticker peel off your tempered glass. So Atypical News Network is going to give you our best shot. Hopefully I don't screw this up, but here we go. Oh, we got some breakage there. Oh yeah, sounds good. Oh yes. Ta-da! What's going on, people? Alan here. Just wanted to update you guys about the computer situation. Show you that everything's still working fine. Show you it in action. Got a little studio set up here. Even got the RGB light on the fan working. I think it even coordinates and flashes with the motherboard light in the background. If you can see that. I don't know if it's gonna come on. Yeah, there it goes. Nice, very nice. So that's the tower. Got the monitor hooked up to it. As you can see, I'm actually teaching myself how to edit video for the first time, and I'm actually editing my first PC build video right now. So this is where the magic happens on the channel. Keyboard, got the little microphone set up here. So just a little studio section in my own apartment. Got the green screen and the lights. And it looks like I am getting a call.